Welcome to the New Rugged Order podcast, exclusively on the Hard Knock Digital Culture channel. Now give it up to your host, people, MM2K.
Yo, what is up, people? What is up, people? What is up, people? It is your boy MM2K of PNTS Network and Hard Knock Digital Culture, welcoming you back to another NRO podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about the latest and greatest in AAA genre-defining gaming news. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about. All right, a lot of things going on. We see you, Cold Blood, in the chat. What's up, brother? What's up, brother? Good to see you as always. A lot to cover. I'm not going to waste your time because at the 10 o'clock hour, which because I'm running late, I have less time to actually deal with topic one. But at the 10 o'clock hour, that is when Spider-Man 2 reviews are going to be dropping. So I got to move it along. So we're going to start with our intro here. Let me fix that right there. This is our intro. All right. So we were supposed to have NRO podcast on Friday. That's our regularly scheduled time to have NRO podcast. So we were gearing up, getting ready to go live, 15 minutes away from going live, and I get a phone call. And something's going on with my son. If you guys can remember, for the last 2 years, I've been dealing with my wife who had medical issues, but now she's all good to go. She's back to work. Everything is great. She's doing better than ever. So, you know, we're just thankful and blessed because of that. But then sometime last year, so we had some medical issues with my son, and we were trying to figure them out. And I thought we were in a good place. But then these things started to backslide a little bit. So now I got to take this entire week to be on standby because he has to go see some specialists, get some things taken care of. And I got to be able to take him there at the drop of a hat. Because we're on like what you call cancel order. So as other people cancel, because this is like such a heightened emergency, as soon as there's a cancellation anywhere in the county, I got to grab him. We got to go to wherever there's an opening at to address this. So we're going to be doing that all week. So I didn't want to create content that would continuously be interrupted, you know, especially if it was a show. Like if I'm doing a stream or something like that, and then I get this phone call and I got to go, then that's going to disrupt systemic content too much. And I didn't want to do that. So what I'm doing instead is all this week, except for today and Friday, the only thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating Cyberpunk streams because I do need to finish Cyberpunk under the new update 2.0. I want to do that before I get into Phantom Liberty. But because the fine people at GFN gave us a code for Phantom Liberty, I don't want to sit on that code forever. You know what I mean? I want to get through this and get to the Phantom Liberty, because what's going on is you can skip right to Phantom Liberty, but I've never played the storyline up to, it's called the transmission mission. Like Phantom Liberty inserts itself right after you do the transmission mission. Say that fast 5 times. And I've never gotten that far. The problem is I have a save that I could continue, but that save was started under the old pre-update 2.0 configuration. And CD Projekt Red recommends that when you play this game after 2.0, you just start a new save. So I got to start a new save and start all the way from the beginning, get to transmission, and then I'll do Phantom Liberty. So there's no better way to do that but to utilize this time. I mean, it was something that I was just going to do over the weekend and stuff like that. But now that I can't like technically commit to no show because I can get a phone call at any time, I think we're pretty safe today because I was told that I wouldn't start getting calls until after I plan to have this show wrapped up anyway. So we're pretty safe to do this show for the most part. But after this show, and then I reckon we'll have most of this resolved by Friday, where I can go to the PlayStation, do the PlayStation content like I normally would. It's just going to be the second half of today through Thursday that I'm pretty much going to be on call trying to take my son to these appointments. So because of that, I can't commit to any programs, but what I can do, again, to fill up the time, because I'm going to be at home until I get these calls. So the time that I'm at home waiting for these phone calls, we could do a live stream. We could chat about whatever's happening. That way, if I got to abruptly end it, it's no big deal. We'll just pick up when we left off when I get back. All right. Sound like a plan? Hopefully. All right. So that's where we're at with that. Okay. So what I also want to do is remind people that we can be found in a bunch of cool places. This is the PNTS Network website, where you can find all of our content, including Hard Knock Digital Culture. We're considered a PNTS Network hub. So if you click on Hard Knock Digital Culture, it'll actually take you to the HNDC site. And this is the Hard Knock Digital Culture site where you can actually watch us right now on the site. You guys probably didn't realize that this existed, but it's live. It'll also tell you right here, there's a schedule thing where it'll tell you when shows are available. You can support the platform. We also have a loyalty program coming soon that'll be attached to this as well. So this is on top of what I'm about to show you with Petissimo. For some reason, my tweets aren't showing up, but whatever. Then there's a MM2K Discord. So you're going to want to access this because this is going to get you connected to a lot of cool stuff. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, and then you can follow the MM2K Gaming stuff on Patreon. So this is here as well. So just in case you weren't aware, and really here, let me show you this. You can go to Hard Knock Digital Culture, right? And then you can actually go back to PNTS Network through there, right? So now we're back. I also want to show you, if you just want my MM2K Gaming, you want to know everywhere where I'm at, not just Hard Knock Digital Culture, you can go to MM2K Gaming. You can go to pntsnetwork.com/MM2K Gaming, or you can just go here to members and then select me, and this will give you all my information, all my links. This is actually, we're powered by Petissimo, which I'm about to show you. You can go to our Petissimo page here. We'll show you what that's all about. This is actually the stream as well. It'll show you my content on YouTube as well under MM2K Gaming and everywhere where you can find me, including Kick. All right. Now let's go to the Petissimo page. This is our Petissimo page. Petissimo is a great tool, a great content creator tool where we can condense everything. You can also find us here. You can also donate here. And then there's a loyalty program that's already active. All right. Regardless of where we're at, you should have points. I have access to see your points. You do too if you go to the Petissimo page. So go there, check us out. Use your points to say, hey, MM2K, what are you doing? Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin. You can do a Humpty Hump on me, Digital Underground. Stop me in the middle of the stream and give you a shout out. All that good stuff. Oh, excuse me. All that good stuff. You can do that right here. So you can buy a shout out or say, hey, I got a comment, man. Read my comment. You can spend 100 loyalty points to get that. I think you accrue 5 loyalty points every 5 minutes or something like that. So go ahead. Definitely check us out on Petissimo and all those cool places. All right. Okay. Now that we've gotten past the intro, oh, there is one last thing I want to show you. Again, We are getting ready for the Spider-Man 2 reviews to drop. We got the Metacritic page already set up. We're ready to go. So as soon as the 10 o'clock hour hits, we're going to be checking Twitter, seeing what people are saying on Twitter, what review information we get on Twitter, and then we're going to go to Metacritic, and then we're going to react live to that. That's at the top of the hour, so in about 35 minutes. All right. So now that we've done that, let's get back to the topic at hand. I want to talk about the ABK deal closing, right? For those of you that have been living under a rock, the ABK deal is where Microsoft tried to buy Activision Blizzard for $69 billion, and in all of their content. King, the mobile outfit King, which is the home of Candy Crush. We know Activision Blizzard is home to games like World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Diablo, and most notably, one of the biggest games in the world, Call of Duty. The acquisition was contested. And it was contested by Jim Ryan and others. In response, Microsoft worked with EU to get past a lot of the concessions, particularly in cloud gaming, because there were concerns with all of the big three. When I say the big three of the regulators, that's EU, CMA, and FTC. People forget, I hear a lot of rhetoric about, the CMA was trying to sabotage Xbox over cloud gaming. They were just looking for any reason. And the evidence doesn't show that. That's a very superficial and as far as I'm concerned, not accurate take of what happened. And I kind of gawk at that because as a gamer that's conscientious about this type of stuff, this conglomerate takeover and consolidation and things like that is destroying the love that I've enjoyed for the last 35 plus years. I've seen it at its apex when it was about the art and it was so innovative to where now it's so cookie cutter. I mean, we still have great experiences that sprout out every now and again, but the innovation that was there, once there, is gone. And it's gone because of consolidation and actions such as these. So when people say CMA tried to make up something to stop the deal, that's a farce because EU had the same concern. The problem that Microsoft had is they placed their chips on the wrong number. They felt like that if they worked closely with EU, that everybody else would fall in line. Like even if FTC were to pull its stuff, it wouldn't matter because EU has stringent policies in regards to when they block stuff. They felt like if EU were to approve the deal, that CMA, they didn't pay enough attention to the CMA. They didn't take the CMA serious enough. And where they've totally disregarded FTC. And actually, I don't blame them. FTC, even though I agree with the attempt to block, they are incompetent, very incompetent. And I thought there was a pile on with Lena Khan. I think that the stuff that she wants to do makes sense. It's how she goes about doing it. And honestly, the personnel she's hired to execute those things, which completely diminish whatever it is that she's trying to do. And this is coming from a corporate 500 guy that always talk about business execs and stuff being gangster and stuff like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate like the open market. I really do. It's been my career for the past 25 plus years. even I understand that there's like a little bit of overreaching and monopoly and a whole bunch of stuff happening that isn't good for consumers. But with all that happening with the regulators, Microsoft placed their bets on the EU, where they should have worked hand in hand with the CMA. Because it's been proven that when they work in hand with the CMA, the EU falls in line. Right? They had it in reverse. So they hedged their bets in the wrong place. And CMA ended up blocking the deal. FTC was very vocal about them wanting to block it, so we kind of already knew they would oppose it. But CMA blocked it. And that caused a whole bunch of complications for Xbox. Our coverage was, we felt like that the deal that Microsoft was trying to push through was not going to be approved. That it would have to be amended. And the way that it would have to be amended was because the concern by all of them was that CMA, EU, and FTC thought that this gave Microsoft an unfair advantage as is against other cloud competitors. And that's why I said the whole CMA is trying to sabotage thing is a farce, because the EU had concerns. It's just that Microsoft did the noble thing to them and went and worked with them hand in hand to draft resolutions that would ease those concerns. If they would have done the same thing with CMA would have had the same glowing praises for them. It's just they would have had to do different stuff. And apparently what they did with this EU was just too light for the CMA to stomach. So the belief that CMA was trying to sabotage anything is a farce, because all three of the main three regulators that had to push this deal all fell on, no, we can't just approve this as is. There has to be some contingencies in place. Microsoft worked hand in hand with the EU to develop these contingencies when they should have worked with the CMA. As history has shown us, this probably would have went over a lot smoother with them. However, maybe they knew the CMA would be tougher and they could get away with the EU. They thought they could get away with the EU's approval, and that would make everybody else turn over and just fall in line. And it didn't work out that way. Our reporting was, as is, this is not going to get approved by CMA. And if it doesn't get approved by CMA, it's a pseudo closing, like they can try to close over CMA, but that's going to bring all type of regulatory and legal issues. And like I said, it would be a pseudo closing, not an actual closing, because they would be in court and they would be so hamstrung as far as, I mean, on paper, they would do things, but as far as moving forward with product and services, they would be out of their mind to implement anything, because it would just, the potential of it being yanked back was great. Now, with that being said, we said the ulterior endpoint would be if they satisfy the CMA by stepping back on the all apparent, we are trying to squeeze out our competition, mainly Amazon and Google, if they back up from that approach. Because they clearly, anybody that has familiarity with what's going on in cloud gaming knows that the cloud gaming community and cloud gaming platforms have been clamoring for Call of Duty. Why? Because if you have a competent enough cloud platform, there's so much to gain by Call of Duty being in the cloud. The Call of Duty as a game, as a franchise, the file size continues to get so bloated. And it becomes more cumbersome for native players, right? Then because of all the complications and stuff being added into the game, yes, native play usually produces less latency than cloud play. However, the latency that is involved in the peer-to-peer servers keeps increasing with each game. So the gains that you have of playing Call of Duty natively are being lost in the pinging of the peer-to-peer servers and trying to ping consoles, where you lose that to the game sitting in the cloud. And when you look at platforms like NVIDIA GeForce Now, that particularly the ultimate tier, that pretty much have no noticeable latency, even to the most diehard hardcore pro gamers. You couple that with now the game is in the cloud, so that all that peer-to-peer pinging to native consoles doesn't have to happen, or native hardware doesn't have to happen. Then you run into a situation to where, okay, now cloud might actually have an advantage when you particularly talk about services like NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate. Not with this iteration, but down the road as the latency continues to increase on the back end, and then it continues to decrease on the front end for cloud gaming. You actually are going to run into a situation where cloud gaming the overall latency experience is going to be less on the cloud for services like NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate. So because of that, every cloud gaming platform was clamoring to get access to Call of Duty, because they knew that dynamic sooner rather than later would be realized. So anybody that really studies cloud gaming knows how important Call of Duty is, not only to the community, but to these platforms. And CMA did their homework. They understood that what was being settled with the EU just wasn't enough. Microsoft needed to do more, and they apparently discovered Microsoft's plan to get this content simply to yank it away from other cloud platform providers. How do we know that? Because CMA explicitly included who the platform providers were in the cloud that they felt like were of the top echelon of cloud providers. Guess which cloud providers were not offered 10-year deals that were listed? PlayStation and Amazon Luna. Now, Google had shut down by the time all these revelations had come to fruition in court with the CMA block. But more notably with Amazon Luna, they weren't offered any. So that meant that there was no avenue for this content to get specifically on Luna. It can get on PlayStation, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it was going to be a 2-for-1 special where it's the cloud and it's native. So CMA was like, no, this is not going to fly. And then the astute Tom Warren, my buddy Tom, was on a podcast this weekend where he specifically said, based upon his sources, that the solution of Microsoft going and giving the rights to Ubisoft was something that was on a predetermined list that was offered to them by CMA. So yes, it is apparent that what we've been saying in our coverage, what had to be offered to Xbox, what had to be offered to their competitors, needed to be on the table, or this deal was a no-go by the CMA, which essentially meant the deal was a no-go. They could close over CMA all they want. You do that to your own detriment because you just have a pseudo deal. So with that said, all that was happening, and now they finally worked with the CMA. And in our coverage, we said that. We said, look, the deal as is does not look like it's going to go through. The appeals and all that stuff, it ain't going to work. There has to be revisions. All right. So unless they do something to include Amazon Luna, at the very least, this ain't going through. And guess what happened? They went with Ubisoft Plus, who is very opening to cloud gaming, and now and Amazon Luna has been included. And guess what? They approved the deal. And guess what? Now the deal is officially closed. It's not a pseudo closing. Now FTC is going to take it to court, where I don't see them having much luck. I think they have no support to do this. Like even Xbox haters, they want this deal to be over. Just go ahead. It means nothing to them. When you crunch the numbers, Xbox still is in last place when it comes to the big three of game providers. What do I mean? Tencent's number one, Sony's number two. Xbox would still be number three. So as far as they're concerned, they still get the argument chips on Twitter. They don't care. And then this more and more makes Xbox, as they've been saying, look like a publisher, which I'll be honest with you, in my honest opinion, I think that's the best offering that Xbox can execute on, is using their money to buy games and benefit from them solely, but give access to everybody. Use their war chest to help cloud platforms in particular get more access to games faster than they would have on their own, like a publisher. I love what Xbox is doing with PC Game Pass and NVIDIA GeForce Now. I don't like xCloud. I don't like any of their technology services. They're overrated and they don't land where they're supposed to. But yeah, if they're going to scoop up these games and make them available via Game Pass, where you don't have to commit to them, you can try them, because people are concerned. Now, people have a legitimate concern in regards to their favorite franchises being watered down. I'll get into that a little bit. But if it's all about access, and I ain't got to utilize your technology to access it because your technology has been proven time and time again to fall short of expectations, if you're going to scoop this up and provide it to other technologies, okay, whatever. I mean, that's the best. I would rather you not touch this stuff at all. You learn how to curate your own great content without scooping up the market. But if you're going to scoop up the market and in return, you're going to make it accessible elsewhere, I'm fine with it because your technology sucks. So that's our coverage, and those are partially my thoughts about the tail end of what they have to offer. I'll say this too. I don't like consolidation. During the golden age of gaming since 2000 and beyond gaming, these companies were innovative, including Xbox. OG Xbox. They took risks and they transformed games and innovation and the innovation behind them and the platforms in ways we could never imagine. Halo, BioShock, Mass Effect. Those are games that Xbox saw, that the competitors saw and overlooked, but Xbox saw it and said, there's something there that gamers have never experienced, that if we add our power behind it, it can become magical. Halo changed the exception of first party shooters globally forever. Halo did that. Mass Effect changed what was possible in an RPG as far as dialogue and interaction, and and it still is groundbreaking, and you haven't seen anything like it, where it was a true trilogy. Your character actions could roll with you wherever you go in each iteration. There's never been a game that has done it that deep. Like, there's games that'll take a save and, do some things, but not as deep as Mass Effect. That was powered by Microsoft as well, with BioWare. Then BioShock, who Ken Levine, the creative director of BioShock and producer, I believe, said that BioShock wasn't possible without the help of Xbox and Microsoft, meaning at the time, Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer, who he demoed the game to, and they said, okay, you got something magical here. We're going to ensure that it is magical, and we're going to put our power behind it. BioShock changed everything. I feel like that BioShock was the most influential game because it took it was like a jambalaya of all of the best elements of gaming. FPS, magical elements, character building, It melded it all together in a way that you are still seeing simulated to this day. When you see a lot of the Warhammer stuff today, that's BioShock. A lot of the the first person and you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's BioShock. Skyrim. I mean, you've seen a lot of that stuff in Oblivion, but when BioShock hit and Skyrim came afterwards, they used the setup and the feel of the fluidity that was in BioShock to help create Skyrim. Like, BioShock changed everything. If there is no Xbox, you don't have a BioShock, and gaming today looks totally different. That was the innovation that we had back in the day. Now, this same Xbox in name only, they can't convince people to the cloud effectively. The platform tech innovation has stalled, and developers are forced to release buggy messes to meet a publisher's quarterly deadline or now some cadence for a subservice. The latter has only happened due to consolidation. And to be fair to Microsoft, it didn't start with them. They've sent it in a hyperdrive with particularly this ABK deal, but it started with EA. And the aforementioned BioShock. The aforementioned Mass Effect. Like, at first they left them to their own devices, but you saw a little bit of their influence in 3. Now, 3 is my favorite. I love 3 because those veterans at BioWare, they were so fantastic. They took the lemons that EA gave them and turned them into lemonade. Just seeing my choices from 2 other games have such a profound impact in this third title, to me, was just like amazing to me. But then it spilled over into Andromeda, and then Anthem, and BioWare is just a shell of itself. That started with EA, and all the elements that made EA ranked the worst company to work for almost a decade have now become custom across gaming. Talent is left, devs are worn out, and now gawk at trying to compete and raise their bar to games like Baldur's Gate 3. When back in that apex, they would have seen the accolades for Baldur's Gate 3, and they would have ran to the studio and said, all right, we're going to outdo that. Now they're telling you, don't expect that from us. That's because of the strains that consolidation is putting on them. And the fact that the veterans that would have led that charge and say, no, we got to outdo that, they're gone. They gave up. They said, we're not dealing with this new dynamic in game development. They're gone. The only shining lights are the temporary intervention. As far as this deal is concerned, the only shining lights globally are the temporary intervention that occurred. What do I mean? As much as y'all want to call him Crying Ryan, I hate to tell you, and I'm speaking specifically to those that are getting 10-year deals on Nintendo or seeing 10-year deals somewhere else, and you may be partial to Xbox, or you're seeing 10-year deals with Valve. You have Jim Ryan to think about that. By Jim Ryan putting such a spotlight that rattled Microsoft on him wanting this deal blocked, it created the outcome of the 10-year deals. Microsoft is not offering this, just like they didn't offer it with Bethesda, unless there is the serious pushback from Crying Jim Ryan. And that only goes for y'all Nintendo gamers or PC gamers. That goes for the cloud community as well. Because the 10-year deals that were spawned by Jim Ryan's crying were then transferred over to the cloud portion when the CMA and the others actually rose concerns about the cloud. Imagine that. So the people that you need to thank, cloud gamers and Valve gamers and whatever, and Nintendo gamers or whoever else got these deals, you need to thank Crying Jim Ryan, and you need to thank the CMA. Because again, Tom Warren of The Verge reported based on his sources, the fact that Ubisoft, the biggest proponent, this was the best outcome of Xbox getting Activision Blizzard for all cloud gamers. Even if you prefer Xbox, this is cloud service, you can't call yourself a proponent for cloud gaming just being happy that these games would just appear on xCloud. You have pretty much half of the community that do not like xCloud. If you're a proponent for cloud gaming, you want these games on as many services as possible. Because you can have your favorites, but they're everywhere. We want cloud gaming to be propelled, period. And this was the best scenario that Ubisoft, the biggest AAA development team in favor of cloud gaming, now has these rights. So now pretty much any cloud platform can get access to these Activision Blizzard games. And that in result will lead to mainstream gamers seeing the power of the cloud. The dwindling latency, the fact that they ain't got to deal with downloads. I ain't got to keep downloading these patches. I can play on my phone. I can do Call of Duty, this and that, while my girlfriend's in Victoria's Secret at the mall, and it felt good. Now mainstream, and this is what we want, cloud community. This was the best scenario. So all that stuff about Jim Ryan, yes, he wasn't my favorite exec either. All that stuff about CMA, y'all need to leave that by the wayside, because when you look at this from 5,000 feet, if it ain't for them, we ain't getting none of this. We got to deal with sucky, laggy xCloud, and you got half of the cloud community that would have to do that, and they're not going to do that enjoyably. This is the best scenario for all of cloud gamers. And it's the best scenario for those on other platforms. The Jim Ryan cried, quote unquote, and CMA therefore said, no, we got to have fair playing ground in this particular sector. And until you do this, this, and this, here goes the groups that we think can handle this for you. But until you do this, this, and this, you ain't getting our stamp of approval. Microsoft gets the IP. They get to benefit from it. They get to flesh out their Microsoft store, probably use battle.net as an influence is being reported or being rumored. And then they also get to, they get to reap the financial rewards. And we don't lose too much as far as our access to games and IP that was already everywhere. We didn't need Microsoft to put them everywhere. They were already going to be everywhere eventually, according to the documents that we were seeing and stuff that was being released by CMA. This deal helps put it out there faster, and I can understand Game Pass owners being happy about this. I can understand Nintendo gamers and Valve people being okay with this. And I can understand cloud gamers loving this. But we're seeing some zealots say that general gamers should be happy with this, who don't cloud game, who don't fit under that umbrella. And that isn't true. Because the biggest concern is, after looking at games like Redfall, Starfield, and Forza, all that have fallen short of the general expectations. Look at the user scores, not Metacritic, user scores. The concern is, now that our favorite games are under Xbox's umbrella, are they going to become watered down? Are they going to be tight fitted to meet a cadence on Game Pass instead of providing the utmost quality? I mean, we hear again and again, especially when in defending Redfall, and the game might not be worth, full retail, but it's in Game Pass. Is that going to become the answer for everything? Because look, half of the owners of Xbox Ones and Xbox Series don't even have Game Pass. There's 300 million console gamers right now, and only 30 million Xbox subscriptions across PC and console. That's less than 10% of the console gamers. So it's on Game Pass? What does that mean to them? Who cares? They don't want Game Pass. They don't want an abundance. They don't want a buffet. They want quality meals. So they're not even invested in Game Pass. And the average gamer, they only engage in 2 games a year and may have 7 to 9 in their catalog for an entire generation. They have no desire to rummage through a whole bunch of games. That's the smaller sect of gamers that want to do that. The average gamer knows a couple of titles that they're interested in, and that's that. So when they say gamers won, did they? I mean, if the quality is maintained and the value is increased by it being less, and it's sustainable that way, then yes, gamers won. But a lot of gamers are concerned, and reasonably so, when you look at Starfield, Redfall, and Forza, because this was supposed to be the ribbon cutting ceremony to the green wave. That looks more like a turquoise puddle. So those are my thoughts. All right, we only got like 3 minutes. I'm going to read the chat, and then we're going to get ready for this Spider-Man 2 reveal. Cobla says, nobody cares about cloud after Stadia died. Not true. People were curious about why would CMA block this. And so I'm going to say this. When Stadia died, that took cloud gaming like 10 steps back. You're in surmising that, Cold Blood, you're not wrong at all. But I think because of NVIDIA GeForce Now, particularly in this whole case, putting the spotlight on cloud gaming, validating that it is going to be a part of the future of gaming, I want to say that we've taken 7 steps forward back. Like we haven't fully recovered from Stadia dying, but those 2 things have very much so helped bring us back 2/3 of the way. We're still behind the curve a little bit from Stadia died, but I wouldn't surmise it as nobody cares anymore. He said, BioShock is all right. Oh, stop it. I don't, you know what? I can't, no, stop it. BioShock 1 is godly. BioShock 2 has issues because of its pacing. The beginning is too slow, and the ending, you're too OP. But I would say that's about 20% of the game. Maybe 30%. The other 70% is marvelous. Actually, that middle 70% is actually better than the first one. Now, BioShock Infinite is trash. I'll agree with you there. BioShock Infinite is trash. But BioShock 1 and BioShock 2, particularly, I don't even want to talk about 2. BioShock 1 is godly. Stop that. We will not have any BioShock 1 slander here. If you're talking about Infinite, oh, hell yeah, I'm with you with Infinite. BioShock Infinite sucked. By that time, Ken Levine was on something. You could tell by that ending montage that he did where he was, they had the people playing the guitar. All right, we're about to get out of here. He says, I'm going to try Mass Effect. Mass Effect is godly. Ron Slusher says, Anthem, baby. Cold Blood says, fun fact of the day. Most loves Tom Warren so much he mentioned him every in a row podcast since he got into cloud gaming. I haven't talked about Tom in a long time. I haven't talked about him. And Tom, I put him in jazz and they're blowhards. Tom is a peculiar one because Tom used to be the biggest Xbox hater, but now because there's more clicks and there's just this big cult following behind Xbox, now he's their biggest supporter all of a sudden. And he's been, I guess, appointed to cover all things Microsoft gaming and Windows and all that other stuff. But Tom is a very disingenuous one, and so is Jazz. And it's not ironic because of that they're the best of buddies. All right. With that said, let's go to Twitter. That's it for the that's it for the my thoughts on the ABK deal. Let's go to Twitter. Let's see what they have here for Spider-Man. Give me a second. Just looking at. Okay. So I want to see what they have here for Spider-Man. Let me do this. Let's see here. Let's go to Twitter. Well, let's go to Metacritic first. Let me go to Metacritic and let's refresh this page because these scores are supposed to be coming in. Okay, nothing yet. We're still hanging tight. Let's see here. I'm gonna check my main Twitter page. Whoa. Well, we see this from Digital Trends. Oh my gosh, hold on. We're seeing some reviews are coming in. We're getting an indication of what is going to be said about this game. I got one from one, let's see here. We got one from one publication that doesn't really mean too much because they're more like a pop publication. But Digital Trend says Marvel Spider-Man 2 is the PS5's best exclusive yet, delivering the ultimate superhero sequel. Wow, that's amazing. Why is it's not loading? Okay. This is their review. They say plot can feel bloated. They look at all these pros, nuanced story. This is from Digital Trends. PS5's most powerful game. Can we get a score? Can we get a score? Now, I don't see a score from Digital Trends. But we got IGN here. IGN says Spider-Man 2 delivers Insomniac's best tale yet, and despite its open world falling short, is a reliably fun superhero trip. Our review. Let's see what they say. Thank you for the venom. Let's just see their score. I don't want to see all their bloated nuance. Let's see the score. Oh, they gave it an 8. Wow. They gave it an 8. Let's see more posts. Spider is everything you're hoping for and more. Beautiful, surprising, amazing. I'm seeing all, let me see. Insomniac finally getting into the 90s. Let's see here. Game Informer. Spider-Man meets and exceeds the high expectations established by earlier entries and comes out swinging as one of the strongest superhero movies. Read our full review. Here goes Game Informer. Now, again, I don't want to sit there and say for Starfield, their review, you got to leave IGN alone for their review of Star. Oh, they give it a Game Informer gave it a 9.5. Wow. Eurogamer at once a little simple and little overstuffed. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is still above a game of immense charm and fluid freeform style. So that's pretty much an 8 out of 10 as well. Whoa! Hold on, we got breaking news. Whoa! Oh my gosh! Whoa! Hold on, we got breaking news. Pete Hines is leaving? Whoa! Hold on, we got breaking. Pete Hines leaving Bethesda. Wow. I'll put leaves BSG. Wow. This is huge. Wow. He says, after 24 years, I've decided my time. Hold on, wow. After 24 years, I've decided my time at Bethesda Software has come to an end. I'm retiring and will begin a new exciting chapter of my life, exploring interests and passions, donating my time where I can, and taking my time to enjoy life. This was not a decision I came to quickly, but after an amazing career culminating in an incredible launch of Starfield, it feels like the time is right. This is certainly not goodbye by any means. My love of Bethesda and its people has never wavered, and I will never stop being part of this incredible community we have grown. Thank you to the hundreds and thousands of fans I've gotten to meet and talk to over the last 24 years. Your energy, creativity, and support has been such a big part of my journey. I look forward to experiencing the next part of the adventure alongside of you. Working with these amazing people, teams, and studios at Bethesda has been the greatest experience of my life. I'm incredibly proud of everything we've done together, and I'm genuinely excited to see the amazing things that we will create. Wow. Whoa. Wow. Wow. And here goes. Wow. Oh, I got to mess with somebody. Hold up. Let me do something. Wow. This is amazing. Come on, you stupid. I hate when it does that pop loading. Wow. Okay. Well, Spider-Man 2 is now a 91 on Metacritic. I do want to show you this. Hold on. On Metacritic, Spider-Man 1 is now a 91. It may drop. It may drop. I don't know if they, yeah. Wow. Let's see if if Game Informer and if Game Informer, oh gosh, everybody's, oh my God. If Game Informer's review and Eurogamer's review has been added, Destructoid gave it a 90. Holy cow. Digital Trends gave it a 90. Game. Let's see if okay, let's see. Okay, now we're in the 80s. WCCF Tech gave it an 85. Dexerto gave it an 80. Let's see if Game Informers, if PC Mag, Push Square, Games, okay. No, GameSpot gave it a 9.5. IGN scores here. Yeah, hold on, we just read. Oh, that was Game Informer. GameSpot gave, okay, Game Informer gave it a 9.5. GameSpot gave it, okay, so GameSpot, IGN. Wow. Okay, there is no score right now under 80. I think that's going to change. So it might drop to an 89. It might drop to an 89. We got to see more scores coming in. It might drop to an 89. I don't see Eurogamer score in here. So yeah, it's going to drop. Yeah, Eurogamer. Yep. Eurogamer isn't in here yet. Yep. Let's see here. Yeah, that score is going to drop, unfortunately. Let me go to Twitter. I got to mess with some people on Twitter. Let's see here. Let me do. I gotta do something real quick. I gotta tease somebody. Let's see here. Well, I gotta tease some people here. Oh man. No, we somebody had, yeah, I know. Wow. All right, so let me go back to, I want to go back to Pete Hines, and just say real quick, I think that says a lot. Look, Pete, I don't think Pete Hines was pushed out. I think Pete doesn't believe in the Xbox ownership. He says, I'm retiring, but I got a new chapter in my life. We'll see. We'll see what he does for me. I don't think Pete believes in the Xbox leadership. I mean, you could just tell by his contention, you know, once the ABK deal closed. I mean, once the ABK documents were leaked. When those documents were leaked and his email, I think that when they were first absorbed, they thought it was going to be different, again, because of the relationship that they have. And I think they didn't understand they were dealing with the new Xbox, who doesn't care about quality, who they're just doing a cadence for, and and he felt like that probably Bethesda games were now being watered down to premier Game Pass fillers. Like, for the sake of saying we got a AAA game in here, let's put it out here. You got to remember, Pete Hines and nobody from Bethesda introduced Redfall. Who introduced Redfall? Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer did what he normally does. When they acquire a company, they look through their trash bin and they say, okay, this is something, finalize it, finish it out, put it on Game Pass. They try to immediately get some type of compensation for their purchase through Game Pass. And I feel like Redfall was the thing that they had on the back burner. Nobody was talking about it. And Phil said, okay, well, looks good enough to me. Let's put it out here. And he was totally wrong. There was a reason why we didn't even know this damn thing existed. There was a reason why we didn't know this thing existed. It was a mess. Pete Hines knew that. Everybody else at Bethesda knew that. Phil Spencer said, no, you got something that can fill Game Pass. Put it out. They wanted to put it out in 2022. Can you imagine if they put it out in 2022? How even worse it would have been? Got a 58 when it was released. Can you imagine how they wanted to put it out in 2022? And this is the company that you're celebrating getting ABK? You really think that those ABK games are still going to be good under this current leadership? Pete Hines is gone. Pete Hines, one of the masterminds and the leaders with the gravitas and just the charm and just the knowing, the knowledge of the gaming scene that helped He's one of the pillars, along with Todd Howard and others, that helped make Bethesda what it is today. Now he's leaving. You really think that these games under ABK are going to remain okay? Like, I don't think you're going to see much impact the first 2, maybe 3 years. But after 3 years, what Microsoft truly wants to do with these IP and their direction they want these games to go into, regardless of what they tell you, they don't want to be in the artistic process at all. They're going to be involved enough where they will continue to be a detriment to these games as they come out. My God. This is something. This is something. God, oh God, oh God. And this is a perfect leave off point for when I talk about our final section, which is the state of AAA games from these platform providers, because both of these platform providers have failed us this year. But I'll leave it at that. We're gonna go back to Spider-Man. Oh my God, amazing stuff. Okay, I already showed y'all that. Let's go. Let's continue to look at these reviews. I'm gonna continue. I'm looking on Twitter. If you those of you that are not aware, Spider-Man right now is 20. No, it's 90. It has a. Holy cow! What did I do? It has a 91 Metacritic. I am going to copy this link. We got all these reviews up here. We're taking a look at the Spider-Man reviews. This is from VG247. I'll just accept the cookie. It says Marvel Spider-Man 2 review, the best superhero game I've ever played. What is their score? I can't remember VG247 score. Oh, they gave it a perfect score. VG247 gave it a perfect score. We saw, wow. There's this, Jesus Christ. I just came across, oh, it's a 92 now. Well, this must be old. It can't be a 92 now unless, because Eurogamer score is going to knock, Eurogamer score is going to knock it down. Eurogamer score isn't even considered yet. Let me see if I can find Control F Eurogamer score is going to knock it down to like a 90, 89. And then we got to see what happens there. VGC gives it, wow. I'm amazed because VGC can be some Xbox blowhards. VGC, one of the best superhero games ever. Wow, they gave it a perfect score. Wow, they gave it a perfect score. Oh man. Yeah, this was a bad day to announce, Peter. This was a bad day to announce. Uh-oh, we got to read my comments. Cold Blood says, read my comments. All right. Sorry, Cold Blood. Let me get to it. He says 92 WTF. For real? Holy ish. It's over. Okay, now 91. Dark days ahead for bots. He says, can we say the damn generation is over? Yeah, it's over. Like even Tom Warren, like when you say Cold Blood, stop. Sorry, we talk about your boy crush on Tom Warren. Yeah, even Tom Warren said that through information he got that these moves they don't think is really going to have much impact on this generation. Like Not saying gamers won't benefit from like a back catalog or anything, but they don't feel like it's gonna, like this is all getting them ready and gearing up for next gen. So this gen is already done. I mean, but Starfield, like in order for this gen to have been still on the table for Xbox, as far as them having a platform with as much engagement, or them having an ecosystem with as much engagement as PlayStation, like having Call of Duty doesn't mean that your ecosystem, the place that you built for people to play games. Like you can be a publisher of games, like Microsoft is a publisher of Minecraft. I can love Minecraft. Minecraft can be my favorite game in the world. But that doesn't mean that I'm part of Microsoft's ecosystem. If I'm playing Minecraft on PlayStation, I'm just playing a game published by Microsoft. I'm not part of their ecosystem. I'm a Microsoft consumer, but their ecosystem is the service that they provide on PC, the service that they provide on the cloud, and the service and product that they present on console. If I'm not part of it, and then I guess it's going to extend to mobile. If I'm not utilizing those services or those platforms to play Microsoft cater game, like you can have a game that isn't developed by Microsoft. Like if I go play Gotham Knights on an Xbox, I'm part of Xbox's ecosystem. See, so it's not necessarily the title. It's the service along with the platform that I'm on. So if I'm playing Gotham Knights on Xbox, I'm part of the ecosystem. If I'm playing Minecraft on PlayStation, I'm not necessarily part of the ecosystem. I'm just playing Minecraft on PlayStation. I'm a consumer. So in order for Microsoft's ecosystem to get more engagements than PlayStation's ecosystem, or the litmus of comparing the two ecosystems, Microsoft still is not going to outdo PlayStation. That 100 million by 2027, that's kind of bleeding into next generation. They're not even going to reach that. They're not going to reach that. There has to be quality. There was a shout out to Lano and Mike, I think is Gaming Over 30. I love both of those creators. I don't agree with Mike so much when it comes to Xbox. He seems to be more favorable to the product than I am, and that's okay. But they were having a heartful back and forth about Game Pass and quality. And Mike was making the point that it doesn't matter if the quality is there. If you're giving gamers a bunch of access to a bunch of games and you can keep doing it, you've won. That's basically his argument. Because the game rating or reviews, nobody pays attention to those. They just want to experience the game. And Lana pushed back on him and was like, no, that's not the case. And I agree with Lana. That's not the case. Quality means something. Why does it mean something? Because I think what Mike was doing is he was misconstruing the minority of gamers as the majority. The minority of gamers want to just flip through games. Yeah, let me try that. The majority of gamers, and if you don't believe me, go check out Daniel Ahmad, also known as Z Huge. See, for those of you that are new to this, y'all need to really go to the library, get your library cards, and do some research. This was already settled in like 2016, 2017, when analysts like Z Huge broke this down for us. The average gamer only engages with 2 games a year. They only have 7 to 9 games in a rotation in a catalog an entire generation. So the average gamer doesn't jump and want to play a whole bunch of games. Game Pass was designed not based on current gamer habits. It was based on taking niche gamer habits and making it more accessible to the mainstream gamer and saying, look, we get why you don't play a whole bunch of games. In their mind, they thought they get it. They got it. You don't play a whole bunch of games because you would have to pay a whole bunch of money. What if we gave you a whole bunch of games to play without you having to pay all that money up front? And guess what gamers said? I don't care about those bucket of games. I don't need to dig through the crate of games. I want simply 2 quality games that scratch my itch a year. On average, I'm gonna play 7 to 9 of them mofos a generation. I'm good, pimpin'. Keep it stepping with your bucket of games. I don't care. I have my business partner. We were talking about this. He said, yeah, because he went and got an Xbox. He just got to be competitive with me. We've been competitive since we were kids. My best friend, and we're business partners. And me and him were talking one day, and he's the when I used to say PlayStation, and I had Xbox, he was always bringing this PlayStation over my house. Play me on this, play me on this. Now that I love PlayStation, he done went and got Xbox. He don't hardly play it. But he was like, you know what? I didn't know what to buy. He said, I've been playing video games in so long. I tried to create a man, because I told him, I said, bro, you're doing too much. Your family's driving you crazy. You need to make a man crib. Chill out, relax. He got his Xbox, and he was like, I didn't know what to play because I don't know what's out there yet. I ain't play. Normally he just will play Madden and boxing. He said, I want to try some other stuff. He said, so I went to Game Pass. He said, the stuff on there is trash. I don't care about none of it. Now again, this is not me, the PlayStation quote unquote fanboy, as y'all try to label me, talking. This is a general gamer. He's the atypical gamer. 2 games a year, maybe 7 to 9 in totality in the rotation. He makes the majority of gamers. So he, who was bought in the Xbox, got Game Pass. He looked at it and said, there's nothing tantalizing for me here. That tells you can't just throw a whole bunch of games in a bucket and say here to the average gamer. It's not going to work. Gamers want specific games that they feel like have passed a quality test for it to even be worth doing. Why am I wasting my time going through this? My time is important to me. I do want to spend it gaming. I don't want to spend it trying games. I want to spend it playing experiences that I know I would enjoy. Those people listen to reviews. Why? Because they don't want to waste time. Look, gaming is not TV. Why? Because with TV, you're just simply watching an experience. Gaming, you're interacting with an experience. So when I watch a TV show, that TV show is going to be the same TV show every time I watch it, right? It's going to cut at the same time to go to commercial. The actors are going to say the exact same things. It's going to have the same beginning and same end, right? Every single time I watch it, it's going to be the exact same thing. So because of that, once I consume a TV show or an episode, in order for me to get a new experience, I got to go to a new TV show. Once I'm done with that one, I got to go to a new one. Because TV content is static, meaning that it remains the same. It's the same thing that it was on Monday that it is Tuesday. I need a new episode or I need a new show in order to increase and add to my experience. Gaming is not like that. Every time I turn on the game, even if it's a linear experience, my experience can be different. This time I died before I even jumped over on the next platform. Oh, this time I got 2 extra lives on that. You can play the same level over and over and it not play out the same. Gaming is an interactive experience and it's dynamic. So because you can have a dynamic experience with the same game, the same person that consumes 60 shows in 1 month only needs 2 games a year because the experience is dynamic. It's not rocket science. But the reason why we're being force-fed this information as if you can take a bucket of games and force feed it to the average gamer and it'll work is because we have people that don't have competent understanding of gamers to realize that can't happen. Gaming is too dynamic for it to be a quantity narrative to the average gamer. If you want to make a subscription service work as it relates to gaming, it can't be all about volume like it is for TV. What you have to do is you have to balance the volume with quality and the cost of obtaining the IP. If you want a subscription service that is going to be sustainable and successful with the average gamer, you have to go do something like look at the top 10 paid for games. 10, only 10. Put them in a subscription service for about $15 to $20 a month, maybe for $15 a month. And then try to present that. If I were to take the top 10 selling games and put them in a subscription service, then you have something that speaks to the mainstream gamer, because it's in all likelihood going to include something that they already play. So then they can say, well, hold on, this $70 or $140 that I normally spend is now going to be broken up month to month in the subscription service, and I'm already getting the game that I would buy normally. So me using that money to go into the subscription service is fine, because not only am I getting the 2 games that I normally play a year, but now I get to try these additional games that actually are of interest to me. Just throwing in a bunch of games that only a niche audience are attracted to is not going to do the trick. I'm going to continue to read these. I'm going to continue to read these comments. That's why Game Pass is failing to meet litmuses. Phil Spencer tried to make something. He tried to create a dynamic. He tried to create a situation where gamers who already were comfortable with their current habit would be totally broken away from that habit and forced to do something else. That's not an advancement. Playing more games is not an enhancement to just simply playing more games is not an enhancement to the average gamer. What's an enhancement to the average gamer is being able to sustain the games that they've already grown to love, while in addition to being able to play more games with the same amount of money. So if for $15 a month, let's do the math. 15 times 12. Hold on, what the hell? 15 times 12. For $180 a year, that's $40 more though than buying their 2 games, but for 2 games and a half, essentially, I can try 10 games a year. And these are the top 10 games. These other 8 games I was actually interested in. I would be interested in trying them, but I didn't know if I would like them. And I'm not willing to spend that much more out of pocket. But now that I can experience 8 other games simply for an additional $40 and still get my 2 games, now you're speaking to the average gamer. So until you have a model that's like that simulates that, doesn't have to be like that in entirety, that includes the games that gamers will play. That's why I say just do the top 10, because those top 2 games, those 2 games that the average gamer plays a year, they alternate. It could be anywhere between NBA 2K, Madden, FIFA, Call of Duty, you know what I'm saying, and others. It could be a variety of games. But if you have all of those games that likely make up the 2 games that the average gamer gets a year, then you got your bases covered. You include those 2 games that people would generally get and pay their $70 for, and now you're including 8 other games that maybe they were eyeballing and said, I'm maybe interested in that too, but I'm not sure if I would like it, and I'm not going to risk my $70 on something that I may not like, because I don't want to waste my time trying to understand something that I may not like, because that's taking time away from me playing FIFA or me playing Madden. You know what I mean? So Phil Spencer thought it was just this is him not having a good pulse with the community. Phil Spencer is a great gamer, meaning he loves gaming and he's a great steward for games, but he doesn't have a pulse and a connection with the community. Otherwise, he would have known that the answer for gamers wasn't just simply giving them more. It was giving them access to more quality. And unlike what Mike was arguing with Lano, which I love Mike, but unlike what Mike was arguing with Lano, you can't have a scenario where gamers are looking at your service and it's constantly, the games that are supposed to be the biggest games in that service are constantly getting dinged. If that is the case, then of course Game Pass is going to miss his litmuses. Now, what helps that Call of Duty is in there, and I would think that Xbox are fools to not have Call of Duty in their day and date, but you need more. Like, if you want that average gamer to come in, again, they're just doing the simple math. I play Call of Duty and Madden. Where's Call of Duty and Madden day one? Right? Call of Duty and Madden day one. No, only Call of Duty's in the service. So if I'm paying $15 or $16 a month for the service, that's cutting into my Madden money. No, I'll just buy Call of Duty a la carte, buy Madden a la carte. Now, you may increase play with a little bit more of the niche side of things, but if you're talking about having 100 million users on Game Pass, then you're tapping into mainstream gamers. And mainstream gamers, look, 100 million gamers in any one generation, that's more than what you did on the 360 side. You haven't come close to your 360 numbers yet. It looks like you're not going to come close to it again. So in order for you to do that, you Game Pass has to become a home for mainstream gamers. Mainstream gamers don't care about playing a whole bunch of games. Look at the top 10. Find a way to create a tier that includes that top 10. The rest will follow. You already own, now you own one of the top 10. You got 9 more to go. You got 9 more to go. You got one. Fine. Now find a way to get the other 9. Because you ain't going to be able to buy all 9. You'd have to buy up the whole damn industry to get all 9. You see what I'm saying? And that's why Sony is investing more in games as a service, because they want those top 10 games to be on their platform and their platform only. Sony got one. Now it's free to play, right? Isn't Destiny free to play? No. Destiny is not free to play. I'm sorry. Or is it? Is Destiny free? Yeah, I think Destiny is free to play. Yeah. Yeah, the base Destiny game is free to play, but in order for you to get all the expansions and stuff, you gotta pay for the expansions. But Destiny is free to play. But you know, PlayStation got one, you got one. You better go find another 9. All right, let's read the rest of these comments. This is, can we say the generation is over? Hell, we'll be somewhere else after 6 months. Don't forget to support the platform, y'all. We could really, use your support. It helps make it a better platform for you. You can go to Cashapp at MM2K Gaming, petissimo.com/C MM2K donate. Thank you very much. PayPal.me also at MM2K. He said, bye, read comment. I told you the devs start leaving. He says, let me see. I want to hear Pastor's cap about Pete leaving. There ain't no cap. We have the emails, man. The emails are there. It jumped back to 91 after it was 90. Yeah, I told y'all it's going well. Cold Blood, if it jumped back, that could just be the cookies. Like it does that often. I think it's gonna be 90, 89. Like let's see if Eurogamer. The Eurogamer. Nope. Eurogamer's review isn't in there yet. So until Eurogamer's review gets in there, Cold Blood, and Eurogamer's review is it's an 8. So it's gonna be like 90, 89. Yep. Eurogamer is going to be 90, 89. You know what's going to happen? Eurogamer polling. Hold on. Why did Forbes gave it an 85? There goes Eurogamer Germany. Oh yeah, no, Eurogamers is in there. So we're still waiting on The Verge, Polygon. It says Spider-Man 2 mostly knows what worked with the originals and enhanced by adding. Let's see what The Verge has to say. Well, where's The Verge's review? Oh, here. Trying to find The Verge's review on Spider-Man. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Oh, The Verge. Let's do this. The Verge. It says Spider-Man 2 on the PS5 has twice the Spider-Man, twice the emo fun. Let's see what they say. No, I don't see a score. I don't know why these places are afraid to put a score up there. Maybe because that forces you to read it. Yeah, we don't have their score yet. Let's see what. Yeah, I see Your Gamers there. Polygon has no score. Let's go back to Twitter. I'm gonna go back to my DM and see what they said in there. Let's see here. Oh man. Over 101 reviews. Wow. Oh, no. Oh, you know what? I wonder if Survivor got to get a score. Don't forget about Survivor. You know, Survivor is going to give it like a 6. Wow. Yep. Let's see here. Let's see here. Damn, over 100 Metacritic scores. Oh, wow. Jesus. Let me see. Poor. Oh, they messing with my homie D Batch. They said poor. Here, let me put this up there. King's Blood messing with D. Let's see. Even though D said essentially what I said, I just find it funny because you know the motivation of him saying that. I thought, but the scores are coming. I was like, look, Eurogamer's going to drop it down to 89, 90. And now that your score is part of the aggregate score, like the only place I see bringing it down is Survivor. You know what I mean? Spider-Man 2 was sitting at 91 Metacritic. I think it will be 89 in the end. What do you guys think? Not gonna lie, I'm excited to play this game. Now they're talking about I've never seen so many random gaming sites give 10s out of 10s in my life. Stop it. Stop. But King's Blood said, poor D. I'm trying to find, let me see. Wow. Looking at more, says after, this is King J, says after 34 hours of completion and platinum trophy, here's my review on one of the best superhero stories ever. Marvel Spider-Man 2 reveal, spoiler free. They secured their 90s with this one, 97 critics, yeah. Games Radar gave it a 5 out of 5. Wow. So crazy. So Angry Joe, Holy cow. Yeah. Well, got one that we're adding to the catalog. I'm not a big fan of the Spider-Man games. I'm going to be honest with you. But wow, look at this. This looks sick. Holy cow. Whoa, look at that. That looks okay. But I was just looking at him walking around. This game comes out on the 20th. Yeah, I think we're gonna be I think we'll be playing this game. I mean, again, I'm not big on Spider-Man though. So am I gonna get a day and date? I don't know. I'm not huge on Spider-Man, but I am like, this is slightly changing my mind. But I'm happy to see the effort and quality. And it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be like, we don't have to have only one platform really putting in the AAA quality while the other one is trying to do bargain bin stuff. It doesn't have to be that way. Okay, so here goes Shinobi. He's real good at doing an aggregate of scores. I like what Shinobi does. He put this out 47 minutes ago. And this is showing that, okay, that VGC, PSU, Twinfinite, Screen Rant, Shack News, Video Gamer, PSX Brazil. Okay, those guys up to Video Gamer gave it a 10. PSX Brazil, Gaming Trend, Game Informer, 9.5. Press Start, Destructoid. And like I said, I find myself more aligned with Destructoid. They gave it a 9. I wonder who did Destructoid's review. Let me find that out. Because there's one guy at Destructoid I totally agree with. There's another guy I don't. And let's go to Destructoid. Let's look at their reviews. Okay, Spider-Man. Review Marvel Spider-Man. Oh, okay. I'm there already. You're not sending me any notifications. All right. What I like is when the people put the superb 9. Who was the guy that scored this? Yep, Chris Carter. Yep. I'm aligned with Chris Carter's reviews. I'm aligned with Chris Carter. There's another guy that I don't, me and him just don't jive. Let me see. Let me look at the Spider-Man. I'm trying to see his signal start. I'm trying to see if there's a game that he reviewed recently. All reviews. Yeah, Chris Carter. That review Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways DLC. When there's a game that I need to know if it's good or not, I go to Destruct, or if I'm on the fence about, you know what I'm saying? Like, should I get this? I go to Destructoid and I look for Chris Carter. Because I find that Chris Carter's reviews are very much aligned with mine. Let me see, Chris Carter. If I can, I'm trying to see if I can find any more reviews by Chris Carter that are things that I've played. I'm gonna get back to Spider-Man. Y'all, bear with me, y'all. I'm sorry. I just want to see our Crash Team Rumble. He doesn't have a whole bunch of reviews in regards to a lot of stuff that I've played. But when he does have a review, he gave Legends review Redfall, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So like, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. See, I was on the fence with that. See, I want to see Chris Carter's review. See, I would have loved to see his review for Dead Island too. I need to see his. See, he hasn't reviewed a lot of games that I've played, but when he hasn't reviewed a lot of games that I've played recently. But when he has played games that I reviewed, I find that his scores align with mine's a lot. He says, "What's going on the bot chat of yours? What are they saying?" They're killing. The ponies are killing the bots in my chat, and you had somebody in there trying to say that. You know, I mean, I said it too that it might drop to 89, but I said that with Eurogamer. Let me see. Oh yeah, they're killing. They're killing them. Ain't no J-Dub did not. I gotta put this up here. There's a newer version. See the latest. I gotta put this up here. It's only fair because fanboys were saying, and I said this too, with my conspiracy theory notion that you know, Jim Ryan got fired, and they were like, P. Hines was fired and Spider-Man 2 became Game of the Year all the same day. Y'all ain't standing on that. Come on, bro. Don't. He is so stupid, man. Oh, J-Dub is so stupid. Oh. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Oh yeah, they're killing. Oh my gosh, it's like a massacre on Twitter. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I might get it. But y'all might not want to hear what I got to say about it. It says, we keep the same energy. Pete got booted like Jim Ryan did. 2027 can't come soon enough. He says, but they add the blunk out of it. Xbox is effed. Eurogamer is there refreshed. Polygon has no score. Insomniac leveled up in just 5 years. So proud of these guys. They are crying out of PlayStation. They gave Starfield a 10. They on some drug stuff over at Destructoid. Yeah, there was that one guy that gave Starfield a 10. Yeah, I don't agree with his reviews. What's that guy's name? He's like the heavy set guy. It looks like. Yeah, I don't agree with his reviews. That's why I made it a specific. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I like it that way, to where Review Starfield. Yeah, Stephen Mills. I don't agree with if it's Stephen Mills. Let me see if I can find his the picture of Stephen. Yeah, Stephen Mills. I don't agree with his reviews. I'm not trying to discredit, because there are probably people just like how I flock to Chris Carter, they may flock to Stephen Mills. Yeah, I'm glad that he didn't review Spider-Man, because I'm on the fence. That's one of the games I'm on the fence about. Now that Chris Carter gave it a 9, I'm like, okay, I gotta scrape up some cheese to get it. He says, I was right about the bloodbath today. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad on Twitter. If you are an Xbox zealot, you are going to want to get off of Twitter. You said, OBJ said, I'm erect. Yeah, that Spider-Man clip looked decent. Looked real decent. Oh, man. I got to put this out here. Give me a second. I got to put something out here. Let me see. Where is my... Let me go to my other Twitter account. When I say my other Twitter account, I don't mean a sock account. I mean the Hard Knock Digital Culture account. I got to put something out here. Quality games will always as they should. AAA genre defining Spider-Man 2. Yep. Yeah, I'm not into this bargain bin stuff. I'm not into this well, let's just go pew 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 and let's be happy that we're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, if Microsoft wants to take their own studios that they've had, and they want to create mediocrity with the studios that they had, I'm fine with that. The Bethesda purchase, I'm going to stop saying it makes sense. It made sense with the legacy Xbox, the Xbox before now, because the legacy Xbox was about quality. They were about taking a look at games that were ignored but were of quality and putting a spotlight under them. They did that again. They put Bethesda on the map. The Bethesda is as big as who they are because of Xbox. Xbox helped with their exposure. Mass Effect, BioShock, Fallout, all that stuff, right? That's legacy Xbox. This new Xbox pretty much had that relationship in their back pocket to use as a, you pick up 5 card to their competitors, and to use an Uno reference, and they didn't do goodwill with it. Or Redfall is a mess. Redfall is an abysmal embarrassment. Starfield, severely overhyped and did damage to the credibility of Bethesda. Pete Hines is gone. I mean, it's not, and Look, they can't even keep now that they're moving full speed ahead with the cadence thing for Game Pass. Even Forza's suffering. Focus on quality, and quality games will always prevail. Period. Now you're going to have people that are going to they're like, I got to get a PlayStation 5 now. I was talking to this woman about some of she was sharing a story with me about some of the medical issues that she's had. And I said, yeah, I've had some of those issues. I've had it treated, but I'm not 100% yet. And she was like, you know what? And me and her were talking about something medical, and she was just breaking down her whole situation to me. And she told me how, that she's going through a rough spot right now. Her husband had just lost his job, and, he had to liquidate his 401k. And he wanted to, and he came to her, and she was asking me, she's like, would you ever do this to your wife? She was like, he came to me and said, hey, honey, I liquidated the 401k. I got a bunch of money back for it so we can pay our bills and stuff. But Tommy, I don't know, I can't remember the son's name. Tommy has been real good this year. He's done everything that we've asked him to do. He really wants a PlayStation 5. Can we get him a PlayStation 5? And I busted out laughing, and the wife didn't understand why. And I said, I hate to tell you this, and I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't tell you this because I'm going against man code here. But that PlayStation 5 ain't for Tommy. Sweetheart, Spider-Man 2 is about to drop. That PlayStation 5 is for him. But I also told her, I said, look, he's stressed out. He's looking for a job. As long as y'all can come to an agreement that this PlayStation 5 doesn't supersede the time that he's to, be looking for a job or whatever, let him have it. Let him have it. I said, but that PlayStation 5 is not for Tommy. When Tommy's at school, that bro is going to be playing it. She was like, really? I said, yeah. I said, ma'am, I'm a content creator. I've been fortunate and blessed to have minimum work hours. Like literally, I get up at 6, from like 6 to 8. No. From 5 to 7. I'm sorry. Sometimes 4 to 6 if I get up early enough. From like 5 to 7. That's all it takes for me to do my day. And I'm done. My day at work is done. I get up 2 hours, check a couple of databases, a couple of reports. My day is done. And people say, oh, how can you do that? Because I have a self-contained database and system that I created all on my own that handles our financials for our clients. That is vital to us billing our client, or this Fortune 500 company billing their clients. It's vital. They've tried to outsource what I've done to Shania. They've tried to have other developers on it, and it didn't work. They couldn't duplicate it. I won awards for this program. So it's created a level of job security for me that I'm quite pleased with. In my spare time, I do this. I run 2 businesses. You know what I'm saying? Because I only got to work 2 hours a day. Well, I only got to work 2 hours a day with them. The flip side of one of the businesses that I've gotten into now is like this Sunday, I had to do a whole day because everybody called off. So I had to cover for everybody there. That sucked. Because I had my whole Sunday planned out because of everything that I had to deal with Friday and Saturday with my son. Like, I'm chilling this Sunday. And then come to find out everybody, I don't know what the hell was going on Sunday, but everybody called off. Anywho, so I've been blessed and fortunate enough to do that. Ma'am, I'm telling you, that's for him, but let him have it. Let them have it. Now, I could have lied to the woman and said, yeah, I think your son deserves it. Because she was like on the fence. She probably would have went. If I would have just gave her that nudge, she would. But what I want to do is I want to see spouses support each other. Like, y'all don't understand the long, hard road that I had to go through. And I'll get a little personal for a second. Because I've had these conversations with Z, because a lot of people say, hey, how come you're not on, you advertise broadband bullies all the time, broadband bullies this, broadband bullies that, but you're never on the show. And me and Z's had these conversations. That's my homie, my mentor. He thinks a lot of times I don't follow what he says, but I do. I just repurpose it in my own way. But this was a long, hard road for me to get this freedom. Like in the middle, when I first started making content this way, like me and my wife were in a very difficult spot personally. Because my wife wanted to buy a house and I wanted to buy gadgets. And I'm irresponsible with money. We had to go to counseling. I mean, I'm serious. I'm very bad at money, but I'm a very stubborn person. And I'm like, I bust my ass, and I should get what I want. And it don't work like that. A workable relationship is y'all got to come to an agreement. Y'all got to make sacrifices. Y'all got to have compassion for each other, and you got to make sacrifices. And I got to be honest with you. I was being selfish. That's what my therapy session showed me. So after coming out of that, we made an agreement. Then all of a sudden I do this content creation thing and I start resorting back to my old ways, right? And my wife was like, come on now, we were already on the brink and you doing this? Like, come on now. And so I was like, okay, I can do this, but I had to be on a tight schedule. Like, and that schedule was because I had to do things for my mother-in-law, because the men in the family were doing things for my mother-in-law, and I was the only one that wasn't doing it. Like we collectively worked together so she wouldn't have to go into a home and was doing, and I wasn't doing it. So I'm like, I'm podcasting. Y'all got to leave me alone, right? And my wife was like, no, enough is enough. Like, you got to cut this off by a certain time. So I've come to the understanding that unless we sit down and talk about it, that pretty much, unless we've agreed to it, I don't podcast past 5 p.m. Eastern. I don't do this on the weekends unless we're like, okay, this is our meditate time, like her meditate time, and she go do some things and I don't bother her for several hours. And then if we come up with meditate time, which nobody bothers me, this is what I decide to do, right? So it took us a long time to get there. So I had to explain to Z, like, Z with his schedule and the complications with his schedule at times, you may not know when he's going live until that day. And it's after 5. So I can't, the fact that it's after 5 makes it a makes it a non-event anyway. But then even if I knew a definitive time, I can sit there and say, okay, baby, can once a week, could you give me, like, I'm going to be done between this and this. You know what I mean? But I can't even do that just because of the complications with his schedule, because a lot of things that he's, operating with, you know what I mean? And it's his platform. So I can't come in and say, well, me, MM2K, you need to schedule around me. So, that's what leads to that complication. But I'm a big stickler for, you got to give your spouse their meditate. You got to let them do that thing that brings them down. And again, this is, people can say, well, this is that's sexist or whatever. I don't care. I'm old school. I don't believe in that crap, especially for men. Men need wind down time. That's why there's the man cave. We need that stuff. I'm not saying women don't need, women a lot of times, they like to have their wine and sit in their bubble bath or meditate however they need to. Both men and women need to meditate, but I think too much focus is put on women meditating and getting their mental, what do they call it now? Getting your taking your mental break days. It's not, And to me, that's just over the top. It's called meditation. You got to recalibrate. If you don't have time to meditate and wind things down and think about and process what you've been through and how you can correct it next time around, okay, this was the week at hand and, let me plan out next week. If you don't get that meditate space, you can't, and you don't recalibrate, you know what I'm saying, yourself, then of course you're gonna lose your mind. Everybody needs to recalibrate. And I think too much focus is put on women of the spouses, female spouses meditating, and not males. Males are just supposed to grunt. And no, men need to meditate. That's why we have Men Cave. My best friend is going through it right now. He doesn't have a space of his own, so he goes and roams everywhere, and it just doesn't lead to good things. I have to have sanctity in my home, but I can't overdo it. I got to shut it down by 5. So as long as I shut it down by 5, I can have my sanctity at home. There's got to be balance, but I got to have my sanctity. So if anybody's listening to this that's in a relationship and your man wants to get a PlayStation 5 and get Spider-Man 2, let him get that damn PlayStation 5 and get Men, let him meditate. Stop with games are for kids. It's interactive media. There are more mature things happening in games of an adult ilk than there are in movies. More so that now the movies and TV are simulating video games, and those are the highest rated shows out there. Stop with this, he just wants to play with some toys and be immature. My sister-in-law tried that crap with her fiance, and I had to put her in her place. You know what I'm saying? I had to put her in her place. Let your spouse do what they got to do, man. Male or female, whatever, just let them do what they got to do. And yes, men need their men cave. We meditate differently. We do things differently. It's okay to say, you gonna shut me down? It's okay to say that. We do things differently because why? Because we're wired differently. We just are. You don't like it, too bad. We're wired differently, so we do things differently. So men having that men cave, that's the way of meditation, and women meditate the way that they meditate. That's fine. But there should be equal focus on both. And it's not about having a mental health day. It's about being able to recalibrate. If you can't recalibrate, you're going to run into, the cascading effects is you're going to run into stuff mentally. You don't just need a mental break day. You need a static schedule to when you can wind down. Now, you may not get that every day. I'm blessed to where I get that every day. You may not get that every day, but if a person can sit there and say, I can't wait till Wednesday, because that's when I finally get to sit back, nobody bothers me, and I unwind. It makes all the other stuff that you're dealing with more bearable because you're getting closer to the light at the end of the tunnel. So go get y'all PlayStation 5s and y'all Spider-Man 2s. Tell them MM2K sent you. All right. Starfield has no chance of game of the year. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I think whatever potential spot, that's a great conversation, Cold Blood, and we're gonna have that discussion. He says, watch Digital Foundry, I sure will. He says the Eagles loss effed us all up. Women can't be your everything 24/7. It's stressing you out to an unhealthy degree. Yeah, like, my wife had to realize too in those sessions that she's very clingy. And she tells me, well, I told you, you knew from, because me and my wife been together for decades. We weren't married for decades, but we've been together. I told you that no, you didn't say you were clingy. You said you were affectionate. That's different. You know what I'm saying? So she had to deal with that she was clingy and that she would try to throw her weight around to get me to sit up under her 24/7. She had to admit that. Now she gives me my space. Now there's no fight over that. I live up to my end of the agreement, so therefore she lives up to hers. And then there's no battle back and forth. He says, if I'm in the crib, I'm staying out of trouble. And that's what I try to tell my friend, Sean. That's what I'm trying to tell my friend. Because he's been good the last several years, but he used to get himself in some trouble. And I'm like, man, you got to find something at home, man. But where nobody bothers you, because then you ain't got to go outside. And see, they don't give him that space or that respect. It's dad. So he gets frustrated. I'm out of here. And he walks into trouble. He says, when you going on the show, Cold Blood? Oh, coming on here? Cold Blood knows he's more than welcome. So he can sit here but no BioShock slander. Or we'll eject those Cedo cuz, no BioShock slander. Or no BioShock 1. I'll even let you dig on BioShock 2 because I almost gave up on BioShock 2. Those first 3 hours were horrendous. Because you play as a big daddy this time around, and I did not feel like a big daddy. And they didn't properly explain it. Like, you are a weakened big daddy. And, they should have done some things to say your powers have been, to really represent why your powers were so capped. Because the splicers were just kicking my ass after a couple of hits. But then when you start becoming a big daddy, oh my God. Like when you get those big daddy powers. But then in the latter end of the game, I want to say like maybe the last 30 minutes to an hour, you're too OP. You're just roar, roar, roar. You're just destroying stuff. And it's not. It's like, damn, the pacing. But outside of those 4 hours, I would say that it was probably like 25 hours to beat BioShock 2. No. I'm lying. I think I played it because this is a very strategic game. I think on average, I play games a little bit slower than people. I think you could beat BioShock 2 in like 20 hours, but it took me 40 to beat BioShock 2. And yeah. Outside of those 4 hours, the first 3 where they were paced horribly, and that last one that was paced you too OP. Not BioShock 3, BioShock 2. Besides those 3 hours for BioShock 2, I thought the game was excellent. I actually thought, though, that other time besides the beginning and the end was actually better than BioShock 1. However, but again, those beginning 3 hours, too much. To where I ultimately give the crown to BioShock 1. However, BioShock Infinite, trash. Straight up trash. He said, BioShock was my first experience and I was lost as hell. Yeah, I would play one. Like they have a collection edition. Play one. You got to play them in chronological order to get everything. Play one, and one will blow your mind. It's still a masterpiece now. Play one. Then play 2. I would even say skip Infinite. Infinite is a waste. He said Saturday night ish talk. Yeah, you gotta you gotta play 1 and 2. You gotta play them in chronological order. Otherwise, and skip 3. Don't even play Infinite. Infinite is trash. All right. So let's give it one more go around. See what the Metacritic is for BioShock. I mean, Jesus Christ, for Spider-Man. Let's see if so Polygon and The Verge, Kotaku, in the AV Club still haven't put out their reviews. They haven't even tweeted about it in The Verge. So what's that score right now? Still a 91. I haven't seen The Verge's. Let me look up something. I got a feeling that The Verge might play spoiler here. And they might actually, yeah. I got a feeling The Verge is going to play spoiler here. And they might actually be giving Spider-Man a bad score. Or a score low enough to bring down the meta. Because I don't see a score here at all. And for some reason, I don't know what they got. There's a review up from The Verge, but I don't see a score. Now, was The Verge one of those places that don't give scores? And if they're a place that doesn't give a score, why are they here? Yeah, I think that this thing could potentially, I still think that it could potentially drop down to an 89, which would make a lot of people mad. But again, there's a lot of haters out there. You know, you got Survivor and so forth that I'm pretty sure didn't get a copy. They're going to get a copy, and they're going to hate on the game, probably. See, the difference between what happened with PlayStation in this review and in Xbox and the Starfield review is Xbox specifically went on a strategic and detailed campaign to only allow the best reviews to come out first. How did they do that? They went to the people that they felt like were going to give the game the best score. Now, they couldn't ignore IGN. They can't ignore Game Informer. IGN or GameSpot. IGN and GameSpot are the two biggest game publications in the world, and you ignoring them is a death sentence. Like you can't play that game with them. You can play it with Eurogamer, you can play it with this one or that one, but you can't play that game with IGN. So I think they were a given, but they had to suffer through them. They had no other choice but to deal with them day and date. But they strategically, where it looks like PlayStation just pretty much knows, because they have a quality game, they're pretty much letting everybody talk about their experience, and the review scores are what they are because of it. There are a few exceptions they didn't give codes to. They just didn't give codes to those people because they are known PlayStation haters. And they're like, we're not going to entertain this. We're not going to let you hate on us for free. If you're going to sit there and just hate on us just off the bat, then you got to do it. Then you're going to have to pay for it. But yeah, this is good stuff. All right, how long have we been podcasting? All right, I don't want to take too long because I do want to get a stream in. Let me see. 119 reviews. Cold Blood says at 91. So I thought it was a lick for $150 still in the damn Xbox. Sell it for 120. So I need to find another sucker. All right. So I'm just still scouring over scores. Again, for those of you that are just joining us, Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man 2 by Insomniac is celebrating an illustrious 91 on Metacritic. I think that's the highest rated Spider-Man. All of the scores that have been submitted so far have all been positive. That is insane. For you to have, I don't know if this ever happened before. For you to have 100+ scores and all of them be like none of them are even mixed. That is insane. Even though it's subjective, you could objectively look at that, any mixed scores or any negative scores, and say, you know what? You can look at any mixed scores and look at it questionably and say and question objectively if there's an agenda there. You can question it. I don't think that it's synonymous that there's an agenda there, but I think objectively you can question it. Because unlike Starfield, it wasn't so hand-carved selected on who gets to say what about this game first. It was like, we know we got a kick-ass game. We know we do. We know we got a badass game. Here, say what you want. And to only the biggest haters, are we giving them, like, we're telling them, nah, you can submit your review. You ain't gonna submit it on our dime, though. And the fact that this score is coming out 4 days early says a lot. It might drop down to 89. It might not stay in 90 land too long. But quality prevails, man. As it should. Quality prevails. As it should. So I'm just looking over more scores. Just looking more over what people on Twitter have to say. This is my timeline right now. This is PMS Jordan. See what else they got here. Crucial PlayStation 5. Oh wow. Okay, here's an alert for all you PlayStation 5 gamers. It says Crucial PlayStation 5 plus 1 terabyte Gen 4 NVMe is on sale for $58.99 on Amazon. Wow, that's huge with the heatsink. Well, you're definitely gonna want that. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna check out the Digital Foundry stuff. Yeah, man, I'm still seeing Pete Hines. This is not a good Xbox day. After 25 years, woo, Jesus! Like, why would you? Like, if you knew, I would have saved the news till later. Or maybe Pete's like, screw it. Like, y'all better. I'll play ball with y'all as far as saying nice things when I leave, but I'm not giving y'all no time to wait on this. Like this, I think this announcement would have been better on Friday, even though it would have been like, oh, but like, no, hey, look, this would have been better on Friday. Oh, let's see. He says, kind of funny, says Spider-Man 2 is a spectacular sequel that cements Insomniac as one of the greatest to ever do it. Here's their quick review. Okay. I think we've seen enough. I think we've seen enough. Yes, Spider-Man 2 is going to cause some heartburn. What is it? This is Analog announces the Analog 3D N64. What is that? Hold on. It says LinkedIn to lay off hundreds of people amid broader. Wow. So LinkedIn, which is owned by Microsoft, is laying off hundreds of people. Wow. Yep. Hold on. Here we go. Well, this is a great tweet by the Game Grinding House. I'm gonna put this up here. This reflects back on Pete Hines leaving Xbox, and he says, this is the pieces Pete Hines retired is because of the clash of philosophies between what he wanted to do or what he wanted to distribute Bethesda's games on, and what Xbox eventually did with Bethesda's games. Just my thoughts. The leaked email was telling. Best of luck to him. All right. This is the leaked email in question. It says, and this is from Pete Hines to Jamie Ledger and Todd Howard and Todd Vaughn. He says, I'm confused. Is the below not the opposite of what we were just asked, in quotations, told to do with our own titles? What's the difference? Emphasis in bold is mine. This blog post from yesterday. First, some commenters have asked whether we will continue to make popular content like Activision's Call of Duty available on competing platforms like Sony's PlayStation. The obvious concern is that Microsoft could make these titles available exclusively on the Xbox console, undermining opportunities for Sony PlayStation users. To be clear, Microsoft will continue to make Call of Duty and other popular Activision Blizzard titles available on PlayStation through the term of an existing agreement with Activision. And we have committed to Sony that we will also make them available on PlayStation beyond the existing agreement and into the future so that Sony fans can continue to enjoy these games that they love. We are also interested in taking similar steps to support Nintendo's successful platform. We believe this is the right thing to do for the industry, for gamers, and our business. So in bold there, Pete is like, this is the approach that we wanted to take with our games. He says, did anyone at Xbox think about giving us a heads up on this? Todd's going to DICE in a couple of weeks. You don't think a journo might find them and press them on why the below is okay for COD or the Activision Blizzard games, but not the Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield, or at every future interview he does? That right there just cements the fracture. And they put that up there. That cements the fracture. So, interesting stuff. Cold Blood says, just invite me next time. I'm going to try and talk. Writing is easy in English because I have the time to think, but speaking is a little bit harder. It's one of the best days of 2023. All right. Sick TV says PS5 is the only next gen console in the market. Argue with you. He said argue with your mama about it. He says, oh wow, this was unexpected. I wonder how all the predicted 90s and 10s feel. So basically from the review, it's the same game with nothing new. It says Kareem Jovian, who is 8 and wants to be an Xbox shill. All right. Well, with that said, we're going to be doing an episode of the Capsule. And with this episode, I want to focus on AAA platforms and why they have not been hitting their mark. So I'm going to be doing a video called Console Wars 2023, Xbox Quality versus PlayStation Arrogance. And then where I'm going to talk about this, and then we could talk about it on the back end, and then I'm going to close this stream. So hold on one second. All right, so I'm back. We're about to do this video. So let me pause the music. He said Pastor's probably sacrificing some goats playing that Spider-Man fall. Cold Blood, you're stupid. I'm gonna address that when I get back. All right. Here I go. I'll be we're about to do this video. Give me 1 second. And the capsule. Okay, all right. All right. So let's do this. 3. All right, we're going to do the video in 3, 2, 1. Oh, crap. Hold on 1 second. Oh, Jesus. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. That was my business partner. I was just making sure that wasn't the people that needed to talk to me about. Let me check something, because I could randomly get a call at any moment that. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. We're going to start this video soon. All right. Okay, so again, we're going to be doing our video. It's going to be called hold on, Console Wars 2023, Xbox quality versus PlayStation arrogance. And we're going to start in 3, 2. Whoops, I did that wrong. I keep forgetting. Oh, for here I can't do that. Okay. 3. What the hell just? Okay. 3, 2. What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K of PNTS Network and Hard Knock Digital Culture, having to end this video because I did something real stupid. Oh, I left that up there. All right, so let's all right, we gotta take that back. All right, let's go back again. All right, in 3, 2, 1. What's up, people? What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K of PNTS Network and Hard Knock Digital Culture, back again with another episode of The Capsule. This is where we take a snippet of our greater podcast, the NRO live session, and we put it in a smaller, more easily digestible form about a particular subject in AAA genre-defining gaming news. And boy, do we have a special one for you today. But before we get into all that, do us a huge favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and rock those bells for notifications. Please. It does so much to make this a better platform for you. All right, today's video, we're going to be talking about something that is, I think, vital to the future of gamers that are sold into AAA genre-defining games, particularly what's been happening in 2023, and that is Console Wars 2023, Xbox quality versus PlayStation arrogance. All right, so hello gamers, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a hot topic, the state of gaming in 2023. Today we're going to be exploring 2 key arguments. 1, the Xbox 2023 quality issues, and 2, the PlayStation 2023 arrogance. Are these issues interconnected? Let's find out. But first, a quick disclaimer. Just because we discuss PlayStation's problems, that does not automatically mean that it's a win for Xbox, as we'll reveal later. And also in conjunction with the fact that at the time of this recording, we got Spider-Man 2 that dropped, and we're seeing scores that could land anywhere between 89 to 91, 92 possibly. And after what, 80 something billion dollars spent on getting new content, we don't see anything of that ilk from Xbox. So before any zealots on any side start saying, oh, well, this is a win because of this, that, let's not even do that. We have two distinct issues that are, again, distinct to those platforms. And we're going to talk about them and see if they're interconnected, because we're talking about what this means for the gamer. Zealots, put your flags away, because this is not presenting a win for you either way. All right. So with that said, that disclaimer out of the way, let's now get into the individual topics we'll be discussing today. Let's talk about section 1. PlayStation's unfavorable showing in 2023, except for Marvel Spider-Man, of course. But everything else has been like up and down, and gamers have had a lot of things that have made them feel a little bit uneasy. Now, PlayStation has faced criticisms for a lack of transparency in particular, a notable absence of fanfare, and puzzling decisions like tethering cloud gaming to consoles, plus Factions 2's handling left fans frustrated. Now on to the next section, which focuses on Xbox's 2023 quality issues. Now shifting our focus to Xbox, we can't ignore the disappointment around titles like Forza Motorsport, Starfield, and Redfall, visual downgrades, RPG progression issues, and Redfall's rough launch all marred Xbox's year. So what is our conclusion in regards to all this? So what's the big picture? We argue that a lack of formidable competition from Xbox has led to a somewhat cocky PlayStation. And they're only going to get cockier again with the revelations of Marvel Spider-Man 2 launches or reviews today. This arrogance results in poor decisions, leaving gamers unsatisfied. It's crucial to remember that this doesn't mean automatic victory for Xbox. They too have their hurdles that they must overcome, which again, you spent like 80-something billion on games. You better squeeze out a 90-something Metacritic somewhere along the line. Gamers, your voice matters. Speak up, demand transparency, and hold developers accountable. Healthy competition benefits us all. Let's keep the conversation going. With that said, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want more, check out the link below in the comments section and in the description so you can see the full podcast where we held this discussion. It was a great show. We talked about not only this, but we talked about the Spider-Man 2 reviews or live reactions to those. And we talked about the whole ABK deal closing for Xbox, what that means for their future. With all that said, peace. Have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. All right. Short, quick video that went straight to the point. Let's get you guys' thoughts on all this, what you think about that. I know it's hard to even fathom the PlayStation part with Spider-Man 2 coming out, but again, I don't want gamers to lose sight of the fact that just because we're getting quality games from PlayStation, that doesn't absolve them from staying on course consistently. Like, their focus on games as a service to the detriment of some of these studios is being reported. The lack of transparency, the mess that is Factions 2. Like, that's not all forgotten. Yes, we're going to celebrate them for continuing to be stewards of AAA quality because we're not getting it from their quote unquote competition across the street. That being said, we still got to keep focused on them because unfortunately the competition ain't keeping the feet under the fire. So we must. Let's get your thoughts on this. Cold Blood says, Pastor, probably sacrificing goats, praying that Spider-Man falls below 90. That cracked me up. He says, I'm so glad Crap Gamer is back on the Xbox. His curse was... Hey, yo. Stupid. He says, Spider-Man has more critics than Redfall has players. That is true. Oh, my. Hold on. I got to use that. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Someone just pointed out to me that Spider-Man 2 has more critics than Redfall has players. Redfall. Oh gosh. Has players. Oh man, now you're making me. Now I gotta go and actually go to Steam. Hold on. That is funny, Cold Blood. No. No, you did not. No, you didn't. No, you did not. How many people's playing? Oh, holy cow. The game has a 30 score. Oh my God. Redfall has 34 players in it right now. Come on. No, we got to do that over again. Oh, that's Cold Blood. You cold for that one, bro. Okay, hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. All right, so I got that, and then I need hold on, maybe I shouldn't have got that first. Where is the Spider-Man 2 Metacritic? All right, copy that. Okay, so now what I'll do is Let me see. Okay. Oh, no. I did that wrong. Hold on 1 second. Come on, man. Jesus Christ. All right. Okay. Now let's erase that. That doesn't look right. Put that in red. Let's lower that down a little bit. Okay, now let's copy that. Let's put that in our tweet. Thievery happening live on air. And then, hold on. Damn it. What the hell happened? There we go. Okay, thievery happening live on air. Now I'm gonna go back to Redfall score. And then we're gonna do a new one there. Oh man. Yeah, I'm still in Cold Bloods. Shine, that's right. Oh man, this is wild, bro. I got to put this Hard Knock Digital Culture. Let's see here. Let me go to, let's go up one. Let me see here. Hold on, where's ABK main? Videos. Hold on. Okay, there we go. All right, let me put you down. Let me put down you cold blood. Oh God. There we go. All right, I'll show y'all the tweet a little bit. Oh God. All right. Oh my. Okay, we put it out there. Oh man. Woo! Hold on. Let me find it. Here it goes. Oh man. Let me do this real quick. I'm gonna put this in my DM because I know somebody in particular is going to share it. Let me see here. Okay, let me put this up. I got, oh my, someone just pointed out to me that Spider-Man 2 has more critics than Redfall has players. Damn you ain't Cold Blood Sensei. Let me see something here. Give me 1 second, y'all. And then here goes the scores. Here goes critic reviews for Spider-Man. Oh, and then Redfall right now. Hey yo, Cold Blood, why you do that, bro? Why you do that? He says, I forgive PlayStation for now, but 20 to 24. Yeah, I'm with you. He said, I'm down right now. Hey, Cold Blood, you's a bad boy. Hey, yo. That's wild, bro. That's wild. Oh man. Wow. All right, so yeah, I mean, yeah, I get the sentiment, but I'm with you too, Cold Blood, that PlayStation has to do better. And dude, Microsoft is spending money for quantity. They're not spending it for quality. And they're trying to, and the Activision Blizzard purchase was so they can add some more mainstream appeal to Game Pass. And I mean, you can't do, and you know, it's hard. You're hard pressed to do better, and when you look at a game by game basis than Call of Duty. So yeah, whatever. But they need more. Like the business model is bad. The leadership is bad. There's nothing wrong with being technology driven. The technology just has to land where it's supposed to. Like, you shouldn't have the worst cloud solution out there next, and it's not even next to PlayStation anymore. PlayStation's is better. They've bottlenecked it to consoles right now, which is dumb. The PlayStation 5 streaming, they bottlenecked it to which is stupid. But it's better. It's better quality. So we'll see what's going on. I mean, people are like, oh, Xbox is going to do this and do that with cloud gaming, and they're going to. I don't see it. I don't see where they make any significant strides. That you might see them reach 4K. I mean, and this is all subjective. This is just my opinion. You might see them reach 4K towards the end of the year. I mean, towards the end of the generation or a couple of years from now, they might finally upgrade in preparation for next gen. But I don't think that Satya and company have a stomach for any serious investments into xCloud. It's too niche for them right now, and they spend all this money, and what is it doing for them? I think they feel like they're better off having people pay for access to their games, them working at a publisher capacity to a lot of these platforms. I think they feel that's the lucrative venture right now, and anything that's happening with cloud is going to be behind the scenes in R&D right now. Yeah, I really don't see them, because Ann was like, what did she say? Don't make a golden toilet. And it sounds like that internally, the top brass of Microsoft feels like xCloud is a golden toilet. So just wishing Pete Hines all the best in his well-deserved retirement after 25 years after being the heart of Bethesda and his family studios. Thank you, Pete. So it's not it's just not indicative of a quality product, which is what you need. You can get people excited on the internet. You can set Twitter ablaze all you want. Those people only represent a slither. It's like a vacuum within a vacuum, and you're not benefiting gamers by just appealing to that slither. And hopefully Microsoft recognizes that, and they get some competent people in there that can I want a technologically advanced platform. That's why I preferred Xbox. One of the main reasons why I preferred Xbox, because of those technological advancements. I mean, games were first, but the technological advancements were like, okay, even when the games fell short. Hold on. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. All right. So let me see where we at with this stream. I think that pretty much still got Dave Chappelle up there. I think that pretty much covers everything. But again, for those of you that may have missed it, it's breaking. Pete Hines leaves Bethesda Softworks. And wow, that's all I can say is wow. Thank y'all for joining us for today's show. Well, this is live now. We're gonna have it up and running Wednesday. I'm gonna take a break and then I'm gonna probably come back at 1 p.m. to do some streaming in Cyberpunk, and that's what I'm gonna be doing all the way up until Friday. You know, only because I got to keep stopping and going like how I'm doing here. I don't want to keep doing that with mainline shows because I got to wait and see if wait for these people to call me back so I can get my son scheduled. With that said, I appreciate all of y'all. Till next time, have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Don't forget to go to Botissimo, hit us up, support the platform, check out your loyalty points, all that great stuff. I'll see you guys in about 45 minutes. Got to get me something to eat, and then we'll be back streaming on MM2K Gaming. Till next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.